In the universe, there are some more matters compared to antimatter. It is called matters or antimatters or symmetry. And the observed this symmetry is order of the 10 to the minus 10 with the parametrizations of the eta b as a light years between the baryon and the photon number density. And the standard model cannot explain this, as there are several Baryogenesis model. And among that, today I will talk about Affleck-Dine Baryogenesis, so-called ADBG. There is a AD build, scalar build, which is composed by the several core lepton build, which carry the baryon or the lepton number. And usually the supersymmetry and the superbuilds are introduced because there are many blood directions from the D and upstone. And the typical form of the potential is the following. First of all, there is the mass term of the AD build, and second, there is a Hubble induced soft term, like this C1H squared and C2H. And this A is A term in the supersymmetry, and some higher order non-knowledgeable operators that are also the edits, but this is suppressed by the large mass scale. Similar to this user cosmology, if the whole prediction term is larger than the scalar mass, then the scalar builds get slow low, and if the Hubble friction becomes negligibly small, then the build starts the oscillations. And this build is a complex build, the angular part is rotated by the torque, which is arises from the pace term. And also the each coefficient contains the p-variation sources. And the matters and antimatters symmetries are generated by the angular momentums, the rotations of the scalar field. So this is the number density. So here is step by step. At the baryogenesis approach, near the TB scale, the scalar field begin the oscillation, and the CP violating atom give the torque, and this makes the rotations of the scalar field of the complex plane. So the baryon number density, this lattice, can be represented by the functions of the AD field mass and the initial build value and the leading temperatures after the implications and the delta, which is the lattice with the atom. So first of all, why we need the block directions of the AD field? This comes from the D and F term in the supersymmetry. Usually the such a D and F, the auxiliary field, so it can removed by the equation of the motion because there are no kinetic term for them in the Lagrange. So this the F term can be replaced by the first derivatives of the superpotential W, and the D can be replaced by the such a gauge interaction. This is gauge interaction form of the term. Gauge generated in the vector superfields act on the scalar superfield, and this is the scalar part of this term, zeta and zeta bar terms. So the scalar potential contains the scale of this F and the D term. This is just a context of the supersymmetry, and the block directions is defined as the collections of the vanishing F and the vanishing D terms for the arbitrary I and A index. So the scalar potentials also vanishes along this direction. So this is called the block directions. There's a null process in here because a scalar field is 0, and it means that the vacuum show that the degenerate structure. The simple example is abelian gauges without some other generator. There's only the one single generator. So in this case, the D terms are given by such a form. So along the same magnitudes of the pi plus and pi minus of the complex color field component, the d terms of analysis, it gives the blood directions of the color potential. But such a blood direction can be lifted by the source term, which is the breaking sources and the non-normalizable higher dimensions of light of the superpotential. And in the MS system, because there's a many color fields, like the fermion, Higgs, such as terms, and that from the such a many degree of freedom, we can find the blood direction in the MS system. As a gauge invariant form, there are typical example, like as LHU, which carries the left numbers with the 1, and the UDD, up, down, down, which carries the baryon numbers with the 1, and the QQQL, which carries the baryon and the left number simultaneously. So we will use such a build as the AD scalar build. So, and the next step, I will talk about each stage through the Affleck-Dine baryogenesis. The such AD condensate or AD scalar fields evolves over the cosmic time, and it generates the symmetry. During the implantations, the Hubble parameters is large, so the negative piece of the mass terms are dominated. So this makes the coefficient becomes the tachyonic, and the valve of the AD field become large. And such a large valve of the AD field can provide the enough large baryon symmetry in the late time. And to ensure that such a negative term of the mass, we should maintain there should no further normalizable term, and such a requirement can be realized by the blood directions. Such a blood directions can remove the big positive mass, so that we can maintain the negative mass of the AD field and also the large valve of the pi. And the next step after the implantations, the Hubble parameters are decreased as the cosmic the universe expands, and the Hubble parameters becomes below than the scalar mass. And then the scalar field starts to oscillation by satisfying by the vast roll condition. And the mass terms also the flip the sign. And in this case, the term in the from the higher dimensional plate is the important. The source term from the some specific SUSY breaking model like the Segura can provide the A term here, and also the Hubble in this system. And the argument of the source SUSY breaking term and the Hubble in this terms are different. So such a different phases can make the CP violations. So such a misaligned page that makes the kick orthogonal to the radial direction, so it makes the angular momentum. So the scalar field rotates over the complex plane. To be specific, such a complex AD field can be decomposed by the radial and angular part, and the slope of the potential with respect to the angular part is non-zero if the pace of the A and the Hubble indices terms are not equal, then these two terms are not cancel each other, so the derivatives of the potentials can be the non-zero, and which makes the torque from the A term. And the asymmetry can be generated during the such rotations of the AD field. From the node current for the baryon number as a global symmetry, we can obtain the number analysis of the baryon, so that there are the two parts which coming from the oscillation amplitudes, and the other part is the rotation part. So the such oscillations through the AD field and the rotations of the scalar fields as AD fields can generalizes the symmetry, and we can evaluate how much the symmetry generates for the specific model of the SUSY breaking. And one double friction term is similar to the such gravitational mass, which is substance, and from the different phases, such asymmetry generated in the such approach. So by solving the equation of the motions of the AD field given by some specific potential and the SUSY breaking model, we can solve the dynamics of the pi numerically or analytically. Then the generated asymmetry can be calculated, like as the initial field value or the SUSY breaking model, whether it is gravity or gauge mediation, and we can fit the observed various symmetry value times minus 10. And eventually in the like universe, the baryon number is frozen because the universe is expanded, then the atom is negligible small compared to with its mass, then it does no mass, and the evolution of the power just stop, so the baryon numbers become fixed. There are some few remarks. The potential is not deep, and the cube ball can be formed, and it eventually decays to the standard model. If the potential is unstable, then the potential is not deep slopes, then it can make the unstable condensate sort of the AD field, so that it eventually fly to the non-topological soliton, but this cube is just stable due to the global charges. But this is the case latest by injecting the stored baryon number, so the such a baryon symmetry is the transfer to the standard model. So here is the final results of our ID baryogenesis, such a mechanism. The main points of this potential. The blood traction ensure that the negative mass in the early universe, so that pi has a large valve, and the inner baryon symmetry can be generated. And when the Hubble friction term is smaller than the mass term, then it starts oscillation. And the different phases of the atom and the Hubble system make the torque, and such rotation makes the asymmetry generation. And eventually the baryon numbers are fixed, and in some cases cable can be produced.